Not sure how to track your leads and clients? Want to make sure that nobody falls through the cracks? Trying to monitor your lead flow without a system can lead to disorganization and overwhelm. In this video, we'll build a pipeline together in GoHighLevel so you can stay on top of your contacts as they move through your journey. By the end, you'll have a fully functional pipeline that tracks every stage of your funnel and client journey. I'm Nick, and this is video 4 of my 10-part series on how to automate your coaching business using GoHighLevel. If you want to build along with me, grab your free 30-day trial by clicking my affiliate link down below. Let's jump into it. Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. We're looking at creating a pipeline in HighLevel today. So we'll put together all the steps of the customer journey, everything that we want to track, put that together in a pipeline so we can track our opportunities as they go through. So let's dive into it. Here's what we're going to cover. What is a pipeline? How does it work? What does it mean? Pipeline stage and status and the difference between the two. They often get confused. The client journey stages that we'll be using for this particular pipeline, and automating transitions. So making sure that either the pipeline stage gets updated and the status gets updated by an action that's taken, or an action is taken by a change in the pipeline stage and status. But before we go any further, please follow me on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn for more exclusive content. There'll be links down below. And share this course. Sharing is caring. Let your friends know about this course in the community if it's something that's valuable to them. Quick warning though, this is the most important video in the entire course. Watch the entire video. Don't skip, don't fast forward. And a pro tip, watch this video in 2x speed. It makes it quicker for you, so you can cut down the amount of time that you have to spend listening to me and double the time that you spend doing and building. Okay, so goals and outcomes for this particular lesson. We've got lead and client pipelines set up, so you'll have a fully functional pipeline that tracks your leads and your clients. And you'll be automation ready, so you'll be able to automate transitions through the pipeline stages. So let's get into it. What is a pipeline? So, tracks client progress. A pipeline helps you track clients through different stages from lead generation to assigned client. It's a visual journey, so you can see where each client is in the journey and how close they are to converting into a paying client. So we'll be able to see, once we've put this together in the form of a funnel on the dashboard, in a form of I guess a pipeline is the only word for it, you'll see when we'll have a look at it. We'll be able to see step by step where everybody's sitting, how much value they're worth potentially. There's so many different options there for visualization, but it's very clear for you where everybody is and how the pipeline is converting. And we stay organized. So we keep your entire client journey organized and ensure no leads slip through the cracks. You'll be able to see everyone all in one spot. Nobody's going to get missed. No one's going to drop off. They'll all be available for you there. So pipeline stage and status. So pipeline stages. These represent the key phases of your client journey. So new lead, discovery call booked, offer made, client converted. So if you've gone through my Map It Out course already, hopefully you have. If not, check it out. I'll leave a link to it below. In that, we go through your client journey and we figure out exactly what all the different phases are. So this is the one that I'll be using today. And you can see here, we've got all the different steps from, like, say, a LinkedIn post to did they click the link? Did they go to a landing page? Did they complete a lead form? And you can see up the top here, we've got all the different, we've got the phases there. And then these are different pipeline stages that we can use. So they're a new lead. They've had the guide sent. A session's been offered. A session's been booked. They didn't show up for the session. An offer was made. They're a bad fit. They were sold. All these larger steps are what we can include in the pipeline. So yeah, those are all the different stages. So any key points, and we can have it as broad or as granular as you like. I've seen pipelines where it's 3 steps. I've seen pipelines where it's 20. And they were both sort of the same process. It's just depending on where you want to track it, how deep you want to go on the tracking. Now, statuses. These are simple labels that describe the state of the lead in the pipeline. So they're different from stages, and they are open, which means the lead is active and moving through the stages. So they could be in any one of these and they're open. 1 means the lead has converted into a client. So generally that would be happening at the last stage there. Lost means that the lead has actively declined the offer. So that's relevant for a second. We'll go into that. But this means they're a definite no. They're a hard no. It's a not at all, not interested. And the other one there is abandoned. And that means contact has been discontinued. So it's the difference between someone saying, no, stop talking to me, and someone just ghosting you, someone disappearing and dropping off the map. So if a opportunity is in a pipeline stage for a certain period of time, maybe they've been sitting in the same stage as call booked for 3 weeks, then we might abandon that. So the difference between lost and abandoned is they actively said no, or they just stopped talking to you. So the client journey stages, we'll build this out as we go. So this is what we're going to be using. We've got new lead. A lead has just entered your system, either through a form, referral, or manual entry. And while I'm working through these, let's just build it. Why not? So I'm in HighLevel here, and we're on the Opportunities tab. And you can see here, there's nothing there. It's lonely here. There are no pipelines. Create a new pipeline to get started. We've got this little cat hanging off a desk. So let's do it. Let's do what the cat says. We'll add a pipeline. Okay, so create new pipeline. And we will call this leads. Leads pipeline. And we're going to put in all of our stages. So all we have to do is put the name of the stage in here. So the first one I've got here is new lead. Okay, so that's there. We're going to add another stage. What have we got next? So new lead, the lead's just entered your system either through a form, referral, or manual entry. They're a lead. Nothing's really happened yet. Lead magnet sent. All right, so the lead has requested or received your lead magnet, but hasn't yet engaged further. So we will put that in here as well. Sent. Discovery call booked. So the lead has booked a discovery call with you. So you can see how these sort of reflect the stages of the sales process. Booked. Okay. Then we have discovery call no-show. So the lead has missed their discovery call. They booked in, they didn't show up, which is never ideal, but it happens. And I just realized I left a Y out here. Discovery call. All right, what's next? What happens after that? Discovery call attended. So the lead attended the discovery call, and now you're moving towards offering a service. So they've gotten on the call with you, and we'll see what happens next. It's sort of in a holding pattern maybe, but let's have a look. Let's add that in. Discovery call attended. Now, a note to make here is that we always want to have the negative before the positive when there's a different option. And the reason for that is that when we're looking at the funnel, which is this here, so we can see the funnel there, I'll show you on the dashboard in a moment, is it considers it a straight line. So if someone's booked a discovery call, they've always not attended it until they have, not the other way around. So if we were to have discovery call attended before no-show, if they fall into this category here, it will think that they've gone through this stage, which they haven't. They haven't attended it. So anything that is negative, we want it before the positive, because no is true before yes is, and that's always the case. All right, bad fit. So after the discovery call, you determine that the lead is not a good fit for your service. So that's a it's not me, it's you kind of situation where you tell them that you don't want to work with them, which happens. You know, it makes sense. Not everyone's the perfect match for everyone. So for example, with me, if I was to talk to a car dealership and they were interested in my services, I don't work with car dealerships. I work with online coaches. So sorry, you know, you're a bad fit for what I have to offer. You know, I appreciate you contacting me, but it's not right. So that's where we'd use that. Then the next one that we're going to have a look at here, offer made. So after attending the discovery call, the lead is given an offer for your coaching services. So you have the discovery call with them, you have the conversation, and you say, hey, this seems like a good fit. Do you want to work together? Hopefully your offer is a bit more enticing than that, but that is how it works. You make an offer, let's add that to the pipeline. And again, this becomes after bad fit because they're always not working with you, or they always haven't received an offer until you make an offer. So that's set up, offer made. What's next? Sold. So the lead has accepted the offer and officially becomes your client. So that's the dream. We all want clients. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing all this. So we'll put that in. And that is the lead pipeline. So it's fairly basic here. It all sort of clicks together. It works together. You might add in things here like, webinar attended or workshop attended. But this is fairly straightforward, simple model where a lead magnet sent out, there's a discovery call, an offer is made, and then they're sold. So that's the pipeline that it'll be working off. That will come in the snapshot. Oh, and onboarded. So onboarding is completed and the client is ready for sessions. Let's add that in as well. So it's a little step after sold there. We might even use that in a different pipeline. We'll have a look at that in a moment. Because we can have more than one pipeline. We can have different pipelines for different inflows, but also for different stages. So once they're sold, we're not done with them. There's more progress that needs to happen. So they need to be onboarded, they need to book their first session, they need to sign a document, all of that sort of thing. We'll get into that later, but this is now a pipeline. It's all set up. Okay, and we can see that pipeline here. So we can see now, new lead magnet sent, discovery call booked, no-show attended. It's all in a nice straight line, and it aligns with this journey, even though there's a little bit more in there. So this has some other stuff down the bottom. This would be a secondary pipeline, but we'll look at that in a moment. But we can see all of that here. And if we go back to the dashboard, we can now see that funnel exists here. So we'll be able to see as leads come in and as they move through these stages, we can see the cumulative conversion and the next step conversion. Now what we want to do as well, we've got some stages here where it doesn't really count. We don't really want to see if they were a bad fit or if they're a no-show here. We just want to see all the positive stages so we can have a look at conversion on each step. Because if they jump from here through here, they sort of all go through that no-show stage. It doesn't really matter, and it's not really relevant for funnel stats purposes. So we're going to go back into our opportunities, into our pipelines. We're going to edit, and we're going to turn some things off here. So you can see this says hide from funnel chart on dashboard. So I'm going to turn off discovery call no-show and bad fit. So neither of those matter. There's something I missed here that I should have included. I missed it in the presentation as well. Offer declined. So I was being too optimistic. It happens. Sometimes people don't want to work with you. So that's set up there. We've put that again before sold because they're always not sold until they're sold. Okay. So you can see we now have that extra step in our pipeline. And when we go back to funnels on here, or our funnel stats, we will see only the positive things are here. We only want to think about the positive things. We've got new lead magnet set, discovery call booked, discovery call attended, offer made, sold, onboarded, and won. So that's everything we want to have a look at here. All the good stuff. That's what we want to track. Okay. So next, we want to have a look at automating transitions and creating opportunities. So automatic transitions. Set up triggers that automatically move leads to the next stage. Conditional actions. So we'll automate status changes based on outcomes. and will reduce manual effort. So spend less time manually moving leads between stages by automating these common actions. So we'll go over a couple of examples here. We'll see what we can see. So really what we want to happen is as an action is taken, the lead moves through the pipeline. So as a quick example, with the no-show, let's have a look at this, the opportunities. So discovery call, no-show. Now we haven't got to building calendars yet, but when we get to that, you have an option to mark a appointment as shown or not shown. So when we select no-show, they will automatically jump into that stage. There's nothing that you have to do. The same as when they book a discovery call. The same as when a lead magnet is sent out to them. All of these actions, all of these steps will happen automatically based on actions taken within the system. Where you might not be able to do it that way is if they're a bad fit, when the offer is made, when the offer is declined, when they're sold. That one we can probably do if we base it off a payment. But what we'll do instead is when you manually update the opportunity to bad fit, to offer made, to offer declined, we can trigger other actions based off you making that change. So for example, if they're a bad fit, we can send them an email saying, hey, sorry, it didn't work out. It's not me, it's you, that sort of thing. So let's have a look at this now. We will jump into automations here and start building some stuff. So our very first workflow, let's have a look. What will we do? Let's just do the very start. We will start from scratch. And we will do new lead. So depending on how we want to trigger this, we will add a new trigger. Let's say contact created. All right. So I don't know if we need any filters here. No, we're just going to go every new contact that's created in the system, we're going to mark them as a new lead. So regardless of where they come from, so we'll save this. Actually, I think it might be better if we do form submit. So you've got all these different options here for what triggers a workflow. We can do all sorts of things. We can do tags added, when a note's added, anything and everything. There's so much in here, but we're going to do a form. So form submitted. Now we haven't built a form yet, so it's not going to let us pick one out because there's no data there. So this is going to be any form that we create in the future. It will put them in as a lead. We're going to have to come back and revisit this because that's not what we really want. But let's say it's a lead form. So we've got our trigger there, and we will call it, we'll rename it, lead form submitted. All right, save that. And then when the lead form is submitted, we will create an opportunity. So we'll create, update an opportunity in the pipeline. So we're going to create it. We're not updating it this time. It should be brand new. So in the leads pipeline, in pipeline stage, new lead, the opportunity name. Now, these names are all going to be different because we want it to reflect the person's name. So we're going to use a custom value, contact, full name. Now, opportunity source, that varies. We could do it based on the form. Yeah, we'll just write lead form in here. What we'll do, what might be good, is to put it as the name of the form. And then value, so we can decide how much they're worth. Maybe each lead, if they were to convert to a client, would pay you $2,000. So we're going to set that up as the value. Okay. So what happens now is when someone goes through this workflow, so when someone goes through this workflow, it's a very simple one-step workflow. It's a simple function, is when someone completes the form, it creates the opportunity. Let's test it out now. We will put someone through it. Why not? Alfredo Hoffman. That's a fake record. It's a dummy record. So I've just run that test. and we can have a look at the enrollment history, see what's happened here. Yeah, so created opportunity, finished. We can look at the execution logs to see all the steps, but there's only really one step. They were added, the opportunity was created, and then they were removed. So let's go have a look at the pipeline. Go to opportunities. And there we go. So he didn't have a name on his record there, and that's why it's come as blank. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's just change it over to this person. But we can see here, yeah, there's no opportunity name either. I've chosen a bad record to work with. I need to create some good fakes. Donovan. There we go. So we have all of the details here. So we can see each lead that comes through. We'll be able to see where they come from, how much they're worth, and as they progress through the pipeline, we'll see our conversion rates throughout. So back on the dashboard now, we'll be able to see on that little funnel, there's a new lead sitting there for $2,000, and our opportunity value is here. We've got $2,000 worth of opportunity. Our conversion rate is 0 because he hasn't gone all the way through, and there's just the one. But yeah, I'll ask you to use your imagination as to what this can look like as it goes through. You'll be able to see everyone at every single stage. So we'll stay consistent. We'll ensure leads are always in the right stage and status, reducing the chances of missed follow-ups or tasks. So we're already doing a bit of a live run through, but I wanted to show you a couple more things in here. Let's build another automation. So this one will be based off of the pipeline stage being changed. So we'll create a workflow, start from scratch. And we're going to do a little bit extra here. So the first thing that we're going to do is pipeline is the workflow trigger, pipeline stage changed. We're going to add a filter. So here's the filter. We're going to do in pipeline, leads pipeline, pipeline stage is bad fit. So we're going to save that there. That's our trigger. And we're going to update the status of the pipeline. So we're going to create an update opportunity. Now it's the same. It actually doesn't really change much, but let's just put it in here. The only thing that we want to change is the status. So here we're going to call that, let's call it lost. And we can even put in a lost reason. So there's no results in there at the moment. We can add that in a moment. But yeah, what will happen now is when we move them to bad fit, it will update that to say lost. We might even want to change the lead value to 0 because if they're a bad fit, they were never going to give us money anyway. But let's just leave that for now. So we'll save that. And we're going to do something else. We're going to add a tag to the contact record. So tags are super useful. We'll get into them in more detail later on. But we're just going to have a tag called bad fit. So let's create that now. There it is, bad fit. So this way we know in the system, we can track everyone that was a bad fit because they'll stay in the system. I mean, we could delete their contact records altogether, but let's keep them in the system. They're a bad fit. We can turn on DND for them, stop contacting them and do not disturb. But yeah, so we've got a tag there and we're going to send them an email. Why not? Send an email out to them. It's not me, it's you. We can even put in their name in the subject line there. Sorry, it's not working out. There we go. So we've got that email set up and ready to go. So what will happen now is as someone goes through this stage, so as we update them, we'll call this bad fit. we will see what happens is the opportunity updates, they get tagged, and they get this email saying, sorry, it's not working. Now we can update the from name, we can update the from email address, but as a default, this will be whatever you set up back when we were setting up the sub account with those headers that we put in on the email. So let's have a look at something else here. We've got settings. Now this relates to emails as much as anything else. So we've got a couple of settings here. We can allow the re-entry. So this is if we want to have someone go through more than once potentially. We can allow multiple opportunities. That's fine. Stop on response. So end the workflow if the contact responds. And communication is where we want to look at the moment. So this is where we can set up that emails only send in specific time windows. So ideally we want this in the contact time zone, specific time, and let's send in a decent sending window there. So between, I don't know, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Anything outside of that, we don't necessarily want to be sending emails, and this helps with deliverability, but we can set that up there. And conversations, we're going to mark that as red. So that just means in the conversations tab, you won't get unread notifications for emails that you're sending, which can happen. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to publish it. So this is now live, and what we're going to do is test it out. Always test. I love testing things. So we're going to go to our opportunities. Now there's a couple of ways that we can do this. First of all, we can just drag and drop. If we want to move people around, something you'll see as well is we can drag and drop to lost, abandoned, and won. That just reminds me, I'm going to go back into the automation because I meant to update the status to lost. Oh no, we did that. We did do that. That's okay. So yes, we can drag and drop, or we can open it up and make the change in here in the stage. So let's do it here. We'll change the stage to bad fit because it's a bit too far to drag and drop. And we will click update. Okay, we'll do a quick refresh. Oh, he's already jumped over. Now you can see he's actually disappeared altogether. The reason for that is we have a filter on. This is a default filter showing status is open. So I'll just turn that off quickly. And we can see there he is. Donovan is lost. And if we go into his contact record, we can see here because it's a fake email, it didn't send it out, which is fine. So it attempted to send that, but because it's not real, nothing got sent because we have the verification in here. Let's try it again. So all we have to do is go back into its opportunity. So because we've got allow reentry on, we can do this as many times as we like. So let's change him back to discovery call no show, update. And we'll go back to bad fit. And this is why we test. There we go. So we can see here, this is the conversation tab. It's showing us contacts, but this is also conversations. And we can see everything that's happening here. So all the history. So the opportunity came in, it's marked as lost, it was updated again to a different status, different stage, and then back to lost. And because of that, it's run through the automation again. And you can see it's sent this email. So yeah, that is that. I'll be building automations for each step of the pipeline for the snapshot, for the template. But I'd highly recommend as you go through, if you're building this out yourself, have a look at every step of the pipeline there and think about what you want to happen as it happens. Now, we don't need to build all these at the start. As we go into further automations, like email nurture sequences or call bookings, we'll just add these steps in there. So as we build a much longer automation, we will include that create or update opportunity step. So we will include this step here, and then this will lead on to further things. So like lead form submitted, create an update opportunity, and then after this, we'd be sending out an email with the lead magnet as an example. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation. That's our live run through. So a quick summary. So we covered what is a pipeline. So it's a visual representation of our lead flow, of our lead nurture sequence, and of everything that happens after that as well. Pipeline stage and status, what's the difference? So a stage is where they are throughout the stages, throughout the phases of the customer journey, the client journey, and the status is what they're at. Are they won? Are they lost? Are they open? Are they abandoned? The client journey stages, so we went through those. Those are these stages here that we've set up. And check out the Map It Out course if you aren't across these. I go over all of this in much more detail and how to create a map like this for your specific client journey, because this one might be right for you. You can absolutely take this business model and use it. But if you want to change it, or if you have something existing that you just want to get planned out, check out that Map It Out course. And automating transitions. So we did a quick overview on how we can implement automations, either to change the stages, the opportunities in the pipeline based on action, or to trigger actions based on changes in the stages. So action steps. Take a moment. How are you feeling about all of this? Is this making sense to you? Can you see in your head the pipeline that you want to build already? How it's going to work? What's going to happen? And multiple pipelines as well, whether they're different lead nurture pipelines or a separate pipeline for up to the point where the client converts, they become a client, through the ascension process after that. Once they've converted, the journey is not over. It is definitely not over. It's only just beginning. Hopefully, they'll stay with you for a while. So what happens? What's the ascension plan after that? So we can build a separate pipeline based on that. So action step, create and modify your pipeline. So set up the stages of your client journey, whether it's what I've shown you here today or something a bit different, and define the statuses. So identify when you'll use certain statuses, such as won, lost, and abandoned. So it's up to you there how you want to use those. Something I think I missed quickly, we'll just jump right back into it, is when we're dragging and dropping, we can drop into lost, abandoned, or won. So think about how you want to use that. Test your triggers and automations. So build some simple automations for testing, like I've done here, and just see how it works. Try playing around with it, move it into different stages, take different actions. So quote of the day, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. So that's from Benjamin Franklin, founding father, the guy on the money. So this is continued preparation here. We are setting up a plan for how we're going to bring in leads, turn them into clients, and how we're going to ascend them from there. And we're building a pipeline so that we can see all of it. So it's very clear at a glance what's going on in our business. So yeah, always prepare. Be prepared. That's the Boy Scouts motto. So please, if you found this valuable, leave a testimonial. I'll really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And let's make it happen. Get out there, build your pipeline, and share it with the community. Let us know what your pipeline looks like. All right, get started. And that's how you create a pipeline in GoHighLevel to track your leads. Up next, we're going to be creating a landing page to deliver your lead magnet and start filling up that pipeline with leads. You can check out that video here, or you can view the full playlist over here. For more in-depth help, you can join my free school community, Automation for Coaches. Links down below. I'll see you in there.